Welcome, everyone. We'll be on the air in just a couple minutes. I am soaking wet from the Hurricane Ian weather that we have in Florida right now. My shoes are like, I wore an old pair of shoes today, and they are soaked. But we've got a lot to talk about today on the program. We'll be here live till 9, so it's up to you guys watching on YouTube to call today, because I don't know, our Florida listeners are more worried about getting ready for the hurricane. Rains, like really, look at my YouTube shorts this morning. The first one I did this morning was on my back porch in the backyard. It rains and rains. It's hard rain, wind like crazy, and then it just stops because you got to band those bands from the storm. There we go.
Alabama to be sent to Florida after the storm. Several reported tornadoes touched down in Broward County. This is ABC News. Hurry into the energy savings event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool Energy.
Oh, South Sarasota. Oh my goodness. You're in the bad spot.
Plus, find other great energy saving items throughout the store. And check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the energy savings event at Lowe's. Selection varies by
Here we go.
Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yes. Oh, man, welcome. We are here live, people. Yes. The show must go on, Hurricane Ian or not. Yes. It is Wednesday morning, and we are here live with you, and we'll be live with you all morning long. Welcome to the program. We got a lot to talk about. I will talk about the hurricane as the show goes on, and of course we do have weather here in our top and bottom of the hour, so you can get the latest updates on the hurricane right here. But I'll tell you, I've been up since about 1:30 in the morning, and I got up early because it was loud outside, and the dog wanted out. But anyway, I've been up since about 1:30. And because the dog needed out. It was loud. She wanted out. So I let her outside. And it's been raining pretty hard all morning. And I walked out of my front door. It was, I was waiting for the rain to stop. It was raining hard. The winds were blowing. And I did something I don't do very often. I actually grabbed an umbrella because I got my new iPhone 14. I got my iPad, to bring here. And I didn't want everything to get wet. And the only umbrella I could find is this really effeminate, girly umbrella of my wife's. But that's okay. I'm secure with my masculinity, and it's dark outside. And the rains were so heavy, the wind was blowing. I stepped off my front porch into a very deep puddle of water that went up to my ankles. It was too wide for me to step over. And I walk off the front porch. The wind is blowing so hard, the umbrella was useless. The rains are pouring. This is just, an hour ago. Sideways into me from the east, and the umbrella is just blown over on the side like nothing. And I'm soaking wet. My iPad's wet. My hair's wet. My clothes are wet. I'm soaked right now. My jeans and my shirt are soaked. My shoes are like sponges that you would, be wash on, wash off with. And I get in the car barely, and I get the umbrella, and the wind stopped and the rain stopped completely. Not a drop coming from the sky. Not a wind. If I would have waited 1 minute longer, I would have gone out in complete dryness and no wind. That's how it is with these bands. It's just it's something else. But anyway, hey, listen, everyone. Needless to say, be safe and do whatever they tell you to do in your local news. Right? If they tell you to evacuate, evacuate. If they tell you to do something, do it. But do it soon, because the weather is going to go down the tubes quickly throughout the day. Now, we're going to talk about the hurricane and stuff later on in the program, but I got to talk first. Did you guys catch Tucker Carlson last night? Holy smokes. Now, I know a lot of people, including Eric Bowling on Newsmax TV. You know, I love Newsmax TV, but it doesn't mean I got to agree with them on everything. Some of the guys over there on Newsmax TV think that Tucker Carlson is a Russian propagandist. And I don't agree with that. This Nord Stream pipeline explosion is what he was talking about last night. And I keep wanting to say Nordstrom, like the store. Nord Stream, you know, like Nordic. This Nord Stream pipeline out of Russia into Northern Europe was attacked. I'll read through the details of it. And, of course, the leftists are blaming Russia. Putin. Putin's responsible for everything. He's probably responsible for the hurricane. Oh, no, that's climate change. I forgot. And Tucker did an amazing segment last night, which I do have 2 audio clips from. But let me read this out of the Gateway Pundit. Tucker suggests that Joe Biden and the United States behind sabotage of Nord Stream pipelines. This is at thegatewaypundit.com. 3 leaks on Russia's Nord Stream 1 and 2 gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea on Monday are suspected sabotage, according to U.S. and European leaders as well as analysts. Sweden reported detecting explosions early Monday morning and Monday evening, with the morning explosion registering 1.9 on the Richter scale. The evening explosion on the Richter scale registered 2.3. The Danish military released photos and videos of the gas leaks bubbling up in the Baltic Sea because it's underwater. The pipelines are protected. Now listen to this. This is amazing. The pipelines are protected by a layer of steel reinforced concrete. The Guardian reported this. The steel pipe itself has a wall of 1.6 inches and is coated with steel reinforced concrete up to 11 centimeters thick. Each section of pipe weighs 11 tons, which goes to 24 to 25 tons after the concrete is applied. The European Union parliamentarian Radek Sikorski, who's the United States, following the explosion, suggesting Joe Biden had something to do with it. And of course, Biden threatened to take the Russian Nord Stream pipelines offline. Tuesday night, Tucker Carlson opened his show on Fox News Channel, suggesting the United States and Joe Biden was behind the terrorist attacks on the Nord Stream pipelines. Now, the media and the leftists are blaming Putin. And I agree with Tucker Carlson. Pretty everything I've heard Tucker Carlson say about this Russian-Ukraine war, I've agreed with. Everything I've heard. That doesn't mean everything he said about it I agree with, because I don't follow him that closely. But when I've heard him talk about it, I agree with him. I'll talk more about that as it goes on. But the leftists, the media, the Democrats, the liberals that are blaming Putin, why would Putin, Putin's in there's a war going on right now, and there's a lot of financial pressure on Putin. And those Nord Stream pipelines are a source of tremendous income for Putin, money that he desperately needs. So many are not doing business with Russia now because of the Ukraine war. Does it make sense that he would blow up his own pipeline, his own money machine, it's really a money pipeline for Putin? Is it logical that he would do that? And Tucker Carlson played 2 clips that I'm going to share with you. The first one is Joe Biden himself a few months ago.
That's why we got to win this.
Oh no, that's later. This is Biden a couple months back on the Nord Stream pipelines.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
we will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Okay. So Biden threatened to do it. He promised that there was a way to do it, and now it's happened. And then the State Department deep stater, Victoria Nuland, who was, according to Tucker Carlson, behind one of the architects of the lie that got us into the war in Iraq a while back in a congressional hearing, said this.
With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
Wow, and now this has happened. So I'm going to throw this out to you, and I want to hear your calls on this. Maybe I'm too wrapped up in my partisanship, and I'm opposed to war, and certainly this one. I don't believe the United States should have any involvement in the Ukraine-Russian conflict. It's basically a civil war, in my opinion. It's not our business. We just got out of a 20-year war. We don't need to be in another one, and I'm very suspect of everything behind it, as I've talked about a lot. But I want to hear from you on the phones this morning. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Do you believe the United States is behind the explosions on the Nord Stream pipelines out of Russia? What do you think? Do you believe that? Yes or no? I want to hear your calls on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We're broadcasting live on this Hurricane Ian day here in not so sunny South Florida this morning, but it is South Florida, and we'll be here with you live all morning taking your calls. We got a lot more to talk about as well, but I want to hear, do you believe the United States would do this? And I'm going to tell you out of the box, I believe it's possible. Yes. Okay? I tell you, that's what I think. Yes, absolutely. We'll take our first break of the hour and come back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Don't go anywhere.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Brian Craig here. How would you like a free doorbell camera? That's right, a free doorbell camera. I have one and you will love one. The first 40 listeners who call 1-833-283-5050 will get a free doorbell camera that connects with your cell phone. I just heard the rain hitting the window. Oh, shocker. Oh, thank you, Dean. If something happens? Oh. Okay, grab a mic anytime you want if you got something. Yeah, please. That's Dean. He's our afternoon guy. Plus, if you're one of the first 40 listeners to call 1-833-283-5050, you'll receive a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Sloman Shield. So call Sloman's right now for this limited time offer. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. Iowa Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision.
Well, like I said, it's up to you guys on YouTube to call in today because our local South Florida people, I don't know, they're very hurricane-centric and probably watching the TV.
That way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753.
Oh man, yeah, my shoes are soaked.
Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation. Each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Call 561-646-8560.
It is crazy.
561-646-8560.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you
you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey.
Steve Kane Show.
Replacement pellet therapy.
Hey, Rich.
Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back. And women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings, gone. Night sweats, gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back just like...
You have a question for me, Macho? Okay, what's the question?
Years younger. Now, it's always
I'm coming back, so I don't know if I have time to answer it here.
You heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Yes, it is. Oh, man. Welcome back, everyone. We are here live. That's right. No hurricane's going to keep us off the air. We are here live today. Callers on hold, stand by. Now, listen. After the storm, you may have some problems at your house, right? Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. You know, Tom Laporta, he rebuilt Steve's house from all the damage he had. He's a Florida roofing and general contractor, which is the highest level of contractor's license in the state of Florida. And he covers the entire state of Florida, including the Tampa, Fort Myers, Sarasota area. From the Panhandle to Key West and everywhere in between, Tom Laporta can help you. And after the storm, no matter where you are in the state of Florida, if you have problems with your roof, if you have problems that you need taken care of, give him a call. He's a good MAGA guy. Here's our number, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, LaportaContracting.com. I also want to tell you guys this about all of our radio stations. Stay tuned to all of our stations throughout, okay? Even after Steve and I sign off, we're going to be on the air. Our stations will be on the air as we are every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there will be hurricane updates and information given to you on the air here throughout the day. Okay, so so don't worry about that. We're up to date on everything, and we will be monitoring throughout the day on all of our radio stations. All right, so let's go to the phones at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Richie, the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
Stay safe today. I didn't even put up my shutters, by the way.
No, my shutters are not up either, but I'm not recommending others do not put theirs. There's 3 guys on my street that put their shutters up. They're the only one.
Yeah, but I'm starting to get nervous. But see, well,
I know.
Here's the deal. Biden wouldn't have threatened him like this, and neither would his press secretary to let the world know, because this is a provocation of war against Putin. Now, we know that he wants regime change. We also know there's an election in 40 days. And we also
Macho, I missed your question.
People are fleeing the country because they don't want to be drafted, or they don't.
That's right, yeah.
So this is a total mess for Putin. And this is Biden's way of, this is his October surprise. Look, we defeated and Ukraine, with our help, Ukraine defeated communism. We saved Ukraine, and we got rid of, we put Russia in its place. This is what he's got to run on because he has nothing.
Well, I was talking about this early in the week. No president, I know Biden's not on the ballot right now, but his party is, no president has lost an election in time of war. And that's true. Throughout the history of this nation, and there's been some close calls, but no president has lost re-election. And the saying goes is that people don't want to change leadership in times of war or other troubles. However, we have a senile old coot who walks around, if you call that walking, scoots around saying hello to ghosts on stage, trying to shake hands with air. And an empty space. I mean, it's true. So the rules don't apply, and the American people have a bigger distrust of the government and the system today than even during the war in Vietnam, I think.
Well, this also has to do with Afghanistan. This is his biggest failure on foreign policy. So in order to erase that, he's got to be able to beat Putin.
So do you believe that the United States blew up the Nord Stream pipeline?
Well, who else has the capability of doing it?
Well, it's a military operation. You hear how thick it is, and it's not only a military operation. That pipeline's underwater. I don't know how deep, but that's like Navy SEAL type work. It's an underwater demolitions team. This isn't Greenpeace.
And this is also emitting so much crap into the atmosphere. They're worried about that new Green Deal. This is worse. I mean, this is destroying.
Oh, by the way, let me give I just realized because I'm soaking wet here, so I'm a little off this morning. I didn't give out Tom Laporta's phone number for Laporta Contracting. I said give him a call and didn't give out his number. This number, by the way, rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. If you have any trouble after the storm on your home, on your property, at your business, give him a call, 954-604-4602. Yeah, and it's really scary, Richie, is that this talk about, like we're having with the Nord Stream pipeline explosions, it's not even controversial. It's not even really a debatable issue. People just assume, that's probably what happened.
What's going to happen with Europe during this winter now that this is blown up like?
Well, apparently there's another pipeline coming from one of the other Scandinavian countries that just went online.
Yeah, that'll be blown up too.
I got to tell you, well, no, that one doesn't come from Russia. This is the thing, okay? I didn't realize how corrupt this country was until they lied about WMDs in Iraq. And got us into that war, and and I realized, don't trust them in these wars, and they're pushing hard to get us into another prolonged conflict.
I don't think they're pushing hard for that. I think they're pushing hard for Putin to be disgraced.
Mm-hmm.
Take the bragging rights. Putin's not going anywhere himself. They want a regime change here. I mean, even Tucker said that earlier. You got to see it.
Well, that's incredibly dangerous. The last time I heard regime change was Iraq, and how well did that go? He had a,
I mean, Russia for Trump getting elected.
Nah, that's a diversion. I understand he's a dictator, but so what? I mean, Russia, we defeated the Nazis with Russia. I don't see Russia as an enemy of this country, and this conflict in Ukraine is a civil war, in my opinion.
And you want to see something? Snowden got citizenship, I believe.
Well, Snowden, I believe, is a double agent. I believe he's a spy working for us. He's working both sides. I mean, he left. He was a young guy. Yeah, I know. He just became a Russian citizen. He was a young guy with this Hawaiian tropic model girlfriend in Hawaii, and he just all of a sudden takes off and goes to Russia, ends up in Russia like this. Now, there's some deep state operation going on.
The last thing I go, what do you think this will be as an effect about the election?
Yeah, the problem with the Democrats are being run by old timers. Pelosi, Biden, and the people under them are old too. They're running like it's the 1980s. They don't understand the world. Nobody buys this crap. The war with this villain of Russia they're trying to create is not flying with very many people. I'm sorry, people. Yeah. All right, Richie, I got to run, but thanks for the call. Now, I want to say about the hurricane, because we're not going to just talk politics today. We've got a great governor right now, Ron DeSantis. But, before this great governor, we had another great governor, Rick Scott, who's our senator now, one of our senators. When we had our last major hurricane, Rick Scott did amazing things throughout the state that no one did before. Okay? One of the things, and you see this happening all the time, you know why we lose power so much in hurricanes in Florida? Trees fall on the power lines. And for about the last 6 or 7 years, the state of Florida has been cutting trees down around the power lines all over the state of Florida so that doesn't happen, and replacing wooden power lines with concrete ones. Have you noticed this where you live in Florida? Rick Scott did that when he was governor. Another thing that Governor Rick Scott did, we've got the rock star, okay, of governors now. There's no doubt. I'm wearing Ron DeSantis' shirt today because of the hurricane. But Rick Scott was a great governor too. And not only did he do this, which causes us to lose power less, because the power lines don't break as often as they did. There's still a lot of wooden ones around, but a lot of them have been replaced. The trees have been replaced. He also got generators put in the gas stations. So when there's power outages, gas stations can still pump gas. They could not do that before. And he did a whole bunch of other things. Florida, with Rick Scott and now with DeSantis, has been more prepared for hurricanes and their aftermath than ever before. And Rick Scott does it, he's overshadowed by Ron DeSantis. Who wouldn't be? But what he did to prepare Florida for hurricanes during and after is amazing, Rick Scott, when he was our governor. So we'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. We'll be back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Don't go anywhere.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Dean brought me a sandwich. Do you guys mind if I eat? I'm a little hungry. No, I'm going to eat a little later. If I eat, I'll get tired. I'll be right back.
Coming up this morning at 10 a.m. From the Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry Weather Center. Tweary's, the most trusted dealer in rare coins, fine jewelry, precious metals, and more since 1982. Here's the Oldies weather forecast.
As of the 5 a.m. advisory, Hurricane Ian is now a strong Category 4 hurricane aiming on the southwest Florida coast. Winds now sustained 140 miles per hour, pressure down to 942 miles per hour. System expected to make landfall later on in the mid-morning hours into the afternoon. And then traveling across the state, we're looking at the chance for still isolated tornadoes in our forecast. Look for winds gusting into the 30s, strong gusts into the 45 to even 60 mile per hour range. And then we are going to see better conditions as we head towards the end of the work week. From the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silverang.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In Boca Raton, we have a multi-vehicle crash involving a tractor-trailer along I-95 heading southbound before Congress Avenue. A left lane is blocked, but so far just some minor slowdowns on the approach. I-95 heading northbound just before Atlantic Avenue, a disabled vehicle is blocking your right shoulder. The surface streets are crash-free at this time, but we are seeing some light buildups on Southern Boulevard eastbound coming out of the acreage. We're also seeing slow traffic on the Turnpike north and southbound between Lake Worth Road and Boynton Beach Boulevard. This report is sponsored by Macy's. Join Macy's in support of Hispanic Federation now through October 15th. Give online today or round up your store purchase amount and donate your extra change up to 99 cents to Hispanic Federation. Learn more at Macy's.com/purpose. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
If you have rare coins, diamonds, gold, silver, and watches to sell, and you're looking for a fair price, look no further than Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry. I'm Dean Muccio. Tweary's is family owned and operated and have been in business for over 40 years serving South Florida. Tweary's pays you a great price for your valuable items. You can call them at 561-649-COIN. That's 561-649-2646. Or go to their website, twerys.com. You know, one thing I love about Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry, the family atmosphere. You can tell they love what they do. Kevin, who is fourth generation, he said that he takes calls from customers day and night. They're at 3971 South Jog Road on the northwest corner of Lake Worth and Jog Road in Green Acres Plaza. Tweary's Rare Coins and Jewelry. Tell him Dean Muccio sent you.
Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company. Family owned, family operated. Where Grandma Carrie Ann herself is in the kitchen. Amazing pizza, sizzling Philly cheesesteaks, salads, pasta, subs, and much more. Live music, patio seating, and 2-for-1 on all beer and wine for Ladies' Night every Wednesday. Mention Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 and receive a 15% discount. Come visit us today at Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, your local family-owned Italian restaurant, located on the corner of Copans Road and Federal Highway. That's Copans Road and Federal Highway. Anne Marie's. We'll see you here.
Spin Car Wash, home of the crystal clear windshield. Come visit us today at Spin Car Wash and get 50% off select washes. Spin Car Wash has new lower prices on all packages. We offer ceramic coating, underbody wash, wheel scrubbing and shine, Carnauba wax, and much more. Don't forget, all our vacuums are free. That's right, we said free. Spin Car Wash, your local express model car wash with a 3-minute sparkly car wash guarantee. Visit us today at one of our 6 eco-friendly South Florida locations. Spin Car Wash. We'll see you here.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Well, I treated your knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effect. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do. Shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio. Hear that music? That means it's Christmas shopping season again. And when you're Christmas shopping, there's no better place to go than MyPillow.com. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you will find the lowest prices ever on top MyPillow products. Right now, order your MyPillow My Slippers for $90 off in all sizes and colors for both men and women. The MyPillow that started it all is just $19.98.
Steve Kane Show.
The MyPillow mattress topper is 50% off. The MyPillow pet bed is 50% off too. There's also incredible savings on the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, the 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, the MyPillow bathrobes. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of it with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. You can also order over the phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane. K-A-N-E.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We are here live on this hurricane day. And just so you know, Dean Muccio from the afternoons is here. And he is monitoring the storm and the hurricane. And if anything breaks with the hurricane, he'll come and grab a mic and tell us all about it. So don't worry, we're prepared for the hurricane. We have our own little hurricane center down the hall. So stay tuned. And it is, I can't see outside because it's dark, but I can hear the rain hitting the window. Oh boy. All right, our number toll free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Greg 2. Hey Greg.
It's Greg for DeSantis.
Oh, is that your legal name? Not like your middle name is 4? Is that the number 4 or F-O-R, your middle name?
F-O-R.
And by the way, it's his name is not really pronounced DeSantis. DeSantis, there you go. You got to know your own name, Greg.
Hey, how come you don't say DeSantis?
Well, because no one knows him as that. I mean, if I were an advisor, you asked a question. Do you not want the answer? No, I did not. I speak in. What do you mean? We're off on I'm hosting the show. It's whatever I say. No, if I were advising Ron DeSantis, I would say your name DeSantis. That's what people know you as, not DeSantis. But that's okay.
Why don't you respect his name and say?
Because I guess I'm just a lowlife, Greg, right?
No, you're not a lowlife.
Okay. Anyway, the reason for your call.
I'm glad. I'm happy to see you taking this hurricane seriously, unlike yesterday.
I did not. Oh, yeah. Well, the paths change.
Right, exactly. But you took it yesterday as a joke, a farce, pulling old.
No, I told a humorous story from a past hurricane.
Exactly, a humorous, right? And it's not a thing to laugh or joke about.
Okay, all right.
Humorous story.
Do you have something new you're rehashing yesterday?
Crane, you're telling me the United States of America, the leader of the free world, correct?
I don't know if we are any longer. We were the leader of the free world at one point. I don't know. That's the problem.
And you know, you say we're no longer, but
I don't know.
You're like, I don't know.
I don't.
Be helping Ukraine out. People are dying over there in the hundreds a day, being traumatized, being their homes wrecked, and you're saying we shouldn't help the Ukrainians? And I want to hear, I'll use this word again because I want to hear this lady call, the minions. We shouldn't help these people. That is our role in the world.
Well, I'm of the opinion, and it's my opinion. I believe my opinion is correct, but I may not be. I believe the war in Ukraine is fake. I think it is a little too coincidental. After a 20-year war, the war on terror, we had men and young women in combat who were born after 9/11, and 5 minutes after that war ends, a new one starts in Europe. A little too coincidental for me.
You're crossing Alex Jones like terrible.
No, I'm not crossing Alex. In fact, I am in Tucker Carlson territory. I am in Tucker Carlson territory. Thank you very much.
And by the way, you despise Fox News, but you open up or talk about them literally every day.
Well, there are. So what?
You despise. You talk negatively about them, but then you quote them. I never heard a talk show, by the way, that quotes other shows to open up their show.
Mm-hmm.
Original thoughts. I mean, you're.
Oh, now I'm a plagiarist. What we do on this program is give listen, what we do, I know it has to be written. I'm not an idiot. I know you like to think I'm a moron. What we do on this program, okay, is Steve and I, we do a lot of things, but basically what we do is give editorial comment on events and topics in the news. And right now, Tucker, excuse me. Tucker Carlson last night had a take that is really exploding in conservative media online last night on this Nord Stream pipeline issue.
You know what? I think Tucker Carlson, I love him. By the way, he is awesome. He's intelligent.
Oh, and he agrees with me on Ukraine and Russia.
I don't have to agree with everything Tucker.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sean Hannity, who you bash consistently, and Laura Ingraham, you bash consistently. You bash everybody, and but then when you agree with them, you open up your show with him. And
well, one of the, when you say other people on different shows don't talk about other talk show hosts or TV personalities, which that's not true, but see, I don't care. I don't care. Well, MSNBC and CNN spend a lot of time talking about Fox News, and I've seen, and I was, excuse me, I watched, says I got it really early this morning, I watched the end of Laura Ingram's show from last night, early this morning, and she played a, so what? And she played a clip from CNN last night about the hurricane. This is a common thing that people do in this business. Well, then you're not paying attention.
No, listen, I watch Fox News consistently. Sean Hannity, by the way, I've never heard one of your shows mentioned on any other show.
Oh, okay.
Not one. I have never heard.
So what does that mean? Well, so this is my question to you, because what you're saying, I got a question for you, and so what you're implying is that this show is not relevant, the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, because shows on Fox News don't cite us or quote us. If this show is so irrelevant, right, and god awful because of the format, why have you been listening to this show for decades and call and participate constantly if it's that bad and irrelevant? No. If the show is irrelevant and the way that we do the show is so god awful and terrible, why do you listen?
I never characterize it as god awful and terrible. I'm just
you criticized our style. Now you're trying to imply we're not relevant. So why answer the question? Why do you listen to a program that you have said in this call is irrelevant and you don't like the style?
Because you're local.
Because we're local. There's about 43 other stations that are local.
Talk shows?
There are some. No, I mean, you're not going to get off the hook. Listen, the reason that you listen to this show is because it is a great program and it's addicting, and you love us. I know you stopped listening. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. All right. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's the number. By the way, shouldn't you be more concerned about the hurricane than me? 1-888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call, no matter where you are listening to us from. Oh man. You know, those of you that are Medicare recipients, you know open enrollment period's coming up in just a couple of weeks. You want to call Debbie at I Will Advisors. She does Steve Kane's Medicare each and every year. And Debbie from I Will Advisors, she's a Medicare expert, and she represents all the major carriers, by the way, not just one. And she'll make sure that your coverage is what is best for you and your needs. By the way, it costs you nothing. Give her a call and make sure that your primary care physician is covered next year. Make sure your specialist is covered. Your prescription drugs are covered. Make sure your local pharmacy is covered on your policy. If you have a supplement, make sure that you're not paying too much for it. She does a great job. She's been with us for many, many years here on the program, helping our listeners each and every open enrollment period. And remember, open enrollment period is the only time of year Medicare recipients can make changes to their Medicare policy. Okay? This is her number. It's 954-753-8080. No matter where you are in the state of Florida, Debbie can help you, by the way. 954-753-8080. She does a great job, and she's done a wonderful job with Steve. You hear that rain? Oh boy, those rain bands, they're coming in pretty tough. Now, if you call early and you get a answering machine, leave a message. Debbie will call you back during the day, okay? 954-753-8080. That's Debbie at I Will Advisors. All right, we're going to take our last break of the hour. Come back with more calls. We got a lot to talk about on the program as well. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this quick break. Man, that rain is loud. Don't go anywhere. 1977. My name is Brian. Can you guys hear that? We'll be back right after this quick break. Man, that rain is loud. Don't go anywhere.
The cold,
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hey, not yet. Hold on.
I need 5 seconds.
Yeah, I just came out. Okay. Can you hear the rain on the speakers? It's pretty loud.
No, I can't hear it on the speakers.
Oh, okay.
I can hear it on my window, though.
Oh, it's loud in my ear.
its professionalism and uniquely talented staff, we're excited to offer a free consultation for every new client. We're looking forward to welcoming you to our new location. Book your appointment today and get 20% off any hair service.
Located at 7600 North Federal Highway in Boca, or check us out on IG at Denise Hair Salon and call 561-826-8704.
That's Denise with the Z.
This is Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is painless, and the prices are painless too. Call today, 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. BrightonDentalCare.com.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the...
Yeah. Yes, it is. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. Callers on hold, stand by. Well, it's been 3 weeks since Dr. Philip Appleton rid me of my knee pain with his laser away pain system. Dr. Appleton's laser away pain system works. I know it works because it rid me of pain. It's amazing. You know, and I'll tell you, I feel so much better overall because I'm no longer suffering with that knee pain, and it was pretty brutal. And I was telling you guys, I realized just out of the blue, I used to lean against this chair here during the show to take the weight off of my right leg when I'm standing here on the air. And without even realizing, I was doing it for like a couple days before I even realized that I don't do that anymore. Now I just use it as a shelf for all my copy. You know, it's amazing. I can stand up and put all the weight on for all 3 hours right here in the mornings on my right leg, and I don't even feel it. It's amazing. I did that live stream from Mar-a-Lago on the weekend, standing on the sidewalk on the bridge in front of Mar-a-Lago for 2.5 hours, live streaming the sunrise at Mar-a-Lago on my YouTube channel this past weekend. I would not have been able to do that before Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain treatment, because especially standing for that long, I would have been in a lot of pain, especially on the concrete. And, you know, with all this rainy time of year is when the pain was its worst. Now, the laser away pain system works on more than just knee pain, any joint, neck, elbow, wrist, your hand, but it also can help with arthritis, bursitis. Did I mention hip, by the way? Lumbar pain, strains and sprains, sciatica, stenosis. If you've got pain, he can help. Give him a call. Now, listen, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Appleton. If you mention you heard about him on the radio, he's open Monday through Saturday. Hey, and when this hurricane's gone, the weather is going to be spectacular. Hurricanes suck all that bad weather, and when we get to the end of the week, it's going to be beautiful and the sun's going to be out. Dr. Appleton is even open on Saturdays, and no appointments necessary. Walk-ins are welcome because Dr. Appleton knows when you're in pain, you need help, you need relief, and you need it now. Here's his number. Give him a call today. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the radio. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Clarence. I'm calling down here from the border. I live down between Del Rio and Eagle Pass.
Uh-huh.
I hear your show, and I'm just wondering why you...
Well, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida. That's why. I'm not in Eagle Pass. That's why I'm talking about the hurricane.
Where that hurricane went, so I didn't know you should have been on the air this morning.
Oh, why I should be on the air? Because, man, I'm a broadcaster. You gotta come on the air during many hurricanes. This is not the first. Now, I will say this though. I've been live on the air at the ocean by the beach right now. That's new. Okay. The other times I was on the air, on the ground, really exciting, especially for Dean in the afternoon. It's going to get really exciting for him.
Yes, sir. I'll bet it does. I'm just letting you know kind of what's going on down here. I mean, it's been pretty thick with people coming across pretty steady all the time, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, didn't you hear Obama? You know, your opposition to these people, you must be a racist. Obama said that opposition to people crossing the border illegally, that's racism. That's just because they're brown, and you if you believe Obama, you don't like brown people.
Go along with none of his crap.
Oh, come on. Oh, he's the first black president. You must be a racist. You're disagreeing with the first black president.
Racist, but I don't go along with all the crap that's going on.
Yeah, I don't either.
Officers down here in our border patrol work, and we got a balloon up right here above my house here. Well, it's actually about a mile or half a mile from where my house is, but it looks like it's right above my place here. And they work alongside the DPS. These people come down here and think they're going to pick up some people and haul them away from here. They get caught. This balloon can see for 30 miles.
Oh, who's watching from the balloon?
Border Patrol.
Oh, okay. That's amazing.
On the ground that mans those cameras. And when these people come in, I used to have people stop here every day. They would be 10 or 12, 15, sometimes maybe just 2 or 3. But every day people would stop here. There's an old shed over here that they used to use to work the onions and melons and work them and get them ready for, shipping. But they don't use it anymore, and these people would come here and meet people here and pick them up.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, there's a liberal icon, a hero of the radical left, even those who advocate for an open border. One of their heroes had the same position that you have, that I have, that Donald Trump has when it comes to illegal immigration, and that is it's wrong, and his name was Cesar Chavez. Cesar Chavez, the liberals have made movies about him, had the same position on the southern border that President Trump has. In fact, Cesar Chavez led teams of people to stop illegals from coming across the border. Now, he did it for maybe a little different reason than Donald Trump. He represented the farm workers, and he didn't want them coming here to take their union jobs from them. But he still had, Cesar Chavez would agree with Trump on the border wall. Hey, listen, thank you for the call. Take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Mike.
Hey, Mike, where are you calling from?
Margate.
Oh, Mike and Margate. There you go. What's up?
Yeah, I just have a question about all the crime that's going on in these minority areas. And I haven't heard one person mention that it's caused by blacks. Not that I'm a racist or anything, but I don't understand why it's not mentioned at all.
So there's no crime being done by white people?
I didn't say that. 99 and 9/10 is black, and it's obvious.
Oh, is it? No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Don't lie, Brian.
No.
Harry.
I'm not lying.
One word about blacks. I don't say crime isn't committed by whites. Yes, they are, but nowhere near the blacks.
Uh-huh.
Half black child, and I had to do with it.
Oh, what do you mean you have nothing to do with it? What does that mean? Half black child.
You're trying to get me to say it does, but it's...
No, you're doing fine on your own. I'm not trying to get you to say anything.
Okay, yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You're freestyling. You're doing well. You're saying it all yourself, buddy.
Okay, fine. Do you watch TV? Do you see what's going on?
Well, tell me what's going on. Give me an example.
Causing crime. You got 100 kids going into a Wawa store, and they're all black. They're not white.
Mm-hmm.
Areas, and it's a shame that they don't mention that they're all black.
Mm-hmm.
You come out and...
Well, if you've got a video, do you have to mention it? Can't people just see that they're in the Wawa are African American? You don't have to say it. Well, I'll tell you. Okay, this is what I'll say to that. Okay. When you look at the problems, what you're talking about is high crime in these Democrat-run cities, right? Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and places like that. When you look at the root cause of the crime, it's because of the Democrats and the Democrat policies, right? The reason you're seeing these things happen is criminals don't fear the law anymore, okay? For a variety of reasons, no bail, and there's many other things. So really, if you want to think about it, the root cause of these crimes you're talking about are not black people, but white liberals that are running the Democrat Party. Well, they're the ones, yeah.
Well, there's no black congressmen.
No, what you would find, and what you would find is the kind of crimes you're talking about typically happen in low-income neighborhoods. Low-income neighborhoods, and if you go to low-income neighborhoods that are white, and there's a lot of them, there's a lot of crime in them. Okay. And if you're in, sometimes those neighborhoods are white, sometimes those neighborhoods are black. Now, when you go to the big Democrat urban centers, those are majority minority towns. There's no doubt about it. But now, if most blacks committed crime, we'd be in trouble because there's a lot of black people, and the fact is, most black people don't do crime. Well, no. When I picked up your call, you seem to have a concern about black crime for some reason.
Black crime, yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Carjackings. Do you watch the carjackings that are going on?
Mm-hmm.
Taking white people.
Okay, so what is your solution?
Get rid of the Democrats, vote for Republicans, and put them in so that in these areas they can get more police, and we'll stop all this crime.
Mm-hmm.
He was in office.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen, I got to run for the break, but thanks for the call, Mike and Margate. Very controversial opinions there. Oh man. Now I want to tell you guys about a lot of things, but one I'm going to tell you about right now is Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West Del Rey and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Oh man, I've been a patient at Dr. Matez's for 6 years, and hormone replacement pellet therapy, what it does, it restores your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll have more energy, you'll feel better, you'll look better. In the recorded commercial, you hear me talk about people looking like Biden. I've seen people before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy. Before, they're like, and I'll see them after. They're standing up tall, filled with energy. If you're suffering with a lack of sex drive or erectile dysfunction, it'll correct that too. Women, hormone replacement pellet therapy does all these things for you, but also totally stops and reverses the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings gone, night sweats gone, vaginal dryness reversed. It's amazing, and he's a great guy, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West Del Rey. Here's his number, free consultation if you mention you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. One more time, 561-320-8893. Call Dr. Mitch Matez and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. It works. I tell you, I'm on it. I'm a patient. We'll be right back after this. Call Dr. Mitch Matez and talk to him about hormone replacement pellet therapy. It works. Oh my goodness, really? You want to go on after the break?
Sure.
Yeah. Mic 3 is the one that one there. This mic doesn't work too well. Oh my goodness. This, to me, is like one of the worst. I've never heard of them telling. They were. See what they do?
Jewelry, precious metals, and more since 1982. Here's the oldies weather forecast.
As of the 5 a.m. advisory, Hurricane Ian is now a strong Category 4 hurricane aiming on the southwest Florida coast. Winds now sustained.
This is the first time I've heard them tell people to leave counties under here. They told people to leave Fort Myers and come to Palm Beach. Did they take it out? Is it too loud? Because I'm a little deaf.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community. Have a laugh with some funny memes.
See, Andrew was a bad one, but it was small. This one's...
Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In West Palm, I-95 heading southbound just beyond Forest Hill Boulevard. A multi-vehicle crash is now blocking 2 left lanes. I-95 heading southbound approaching Indian Town Road. A disabled vehicle is blocking your right shoulder. A crash is blocking the left shoulder in Del Rey on 95 heading southbound just before Atlantic Avenue.
I came in last
Also,
night
another
when I saw
multi-vehicle
that
incident
we
on
didn't
95
have a
heading westbound
touchdown
before Lincoln
tornado
Boulevard has
last
the right
night.
shoulder blocked.
I got here
As for the
at
surface streets,
11
we're seeing some
o'clock
flooding in areas and lots of rainfall right now, so please be sure to use caution on the roads.
Then they started
And we're seeing some more
going
volume begin
Yeah.
on 95 north and southbound between
So you're going to be here all day and night?
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support could go at Unbound.org. That's traffic.
Are you on YouTube?
Here's your True Oldies.
So don't say anything. You don't want to be heard. We're always hot here.
Landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, the entire state of Florida bracing for Ian.
Overnight, sustained tropical storm force winds arrived in South Florida.
I don't know how prepared people are in Fort Myers and Sarasota. They're not used to this. Like, I don't think they're really.
They said 2.5 million.
And now concern is growing about where Ian heads after making landfall. The Orlando area is under a hurricane warning, and Orlando International Airport will shut down this afternoon as people across the state brace for whatever Ian brings them.
ABC's Justin Finch. The White House says President Biden and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis have spoken. We're told state and federal level agencies are coordinating, and FEMA has millions of meals and bottled water waiting in neighboring Alabama to be sent to Florida after the storm. Several reported tornadoes touched down in Broward County. This is ABC News. Hurry into the energy savings event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool energy efficient appliances. You can also use less water with WaterSense bathroom faucets, starting at just $19.98. Plus, find other great energy saving items throughout the store and check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the energy savings event at Lowe's. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Opinions are like
I'll do an intro for you.
Everyone's got one. Get yours in. The Steve Kane Show.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Now, those of you that have listened to the show for many years know our station has gone through some format changes lately. Overall, we've become a real radio station, quite frankly, in the last couple of months. And we are here live on the air on this Hurricane Ian day. And our afternoon guy, Dean Muccio, he is here, and he has a major update you want to stand by for. And I want to tell you, stay tuned to our station all day, all night. Dean is going to be here, not just in the afternoon, but throughout the day and the night. And I'm going to be out of here at 9. The weather's going to get worse during the day. Dean is going to be on the top floor of an office building on the beach during a hurricane, keeping you informed.
Well, the breaking news, Brian, is that Ian is now a Category 5 hurricane with 155-mile-per-hour winds.
Oh, my.
It's about 60 miles southwest of Fort Myers right now, and those folks are in for an incredible storm.
Well, I'll tell you, Category 5, you came in here during the break, and I got goosebumps when I heard Category 5. Yeah. You know, that's as high as it goes.
Tropical storm wind gusts for us, 45 to 52 miles per hour. Standing water in the road. Be careful. Hydroplaning. Don't speed because it comes up on you real quick. Branches and limbs all over the place. The threat for more tornadoes as Ian makes landfall. That's for us here in the the southern part of Florida. A couple women with the Del Rey tornado that touched down at Kings Point. 2 women were taken to the hospital.
Oh, my.
1 woman was trapped under the roof. Firefighters were able to get her out, and I think she's doing well. But the breaking news is Category 5 for Hurricane Ian, 155-mile-per-hour winds. It is a devastating storm.
Well, Dean, if anything else happens, just break on in and come on in, and there's always an open mic for you.
Well, and I brought you a sandwich.
That's true. Thank you very much. Yeah, and Dean is on, by the way, in the afternoons from 2 to 6, and
I want to say one more thing. Our TV partners at WPBF 25 are incredible. That team of meteorologists, they're going to keep us up to date, and I will bring more information when it warrants.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Dean.
Yeah,
and again, stay tuned all throughout the hurricane, because Dean he's actually been here all night long monitoring everything. Don't come to me or Steve Kane for hurricane news. We could just tell you our experiences in the past, but Dean is over there in the hurricane center here. But let me tell you, this hurricane, and when I said I got goosebumps, I still have goosebumps when Dean came in and said Category 5, and those are goosebumps of fear. Listen, I'm more concerned about this hurricane than any other hurricane that I've ever experienced here in Florida. And even here in this part of Florida where we're not going to get the direct hit, and the reason is we have so many new Floridians that have never experienced a hurricane. And when Dean was talking about tornadoes, a lot of people don't understand that about hurricanes. You get a lot of tornadoes. And a lot of the damage from hurricanes comes from tornadoes. And even though, we're not getting hit here in our primary listening area in South Florida directly with the hurricane, we still can get wind gusts that are pretty fast, hurricane strength, tropical storm strength, and you can get tornadoes, as we've already had. In fact, when I got up this morning, we were under a tornado watch. I was going to come in early, and I didn't because I was waiting for that to lift. So stay home if you can. But those of you that are new to Florida, stay tuned and do whatever you're told to do by local officials. Hurricanes are not a party time. I know you've probably all heard stories of people having hurricane parties. That's a bad idea. If you're in an evacuation zone, get out. They're not fun and games. Okay? They're not. And I've been through many of them. And in my home, I am the most prepared of anyone else I know for a hurricane. I have hurricane windows on all of my windows, and I also have shutters to cover up the hurricane windows because it's expensive to replace them if they crack. I've got a hurricane garage door. I've got a generator. I loaded up on gas for my generator yesterday. And I also have bottled water and supplies. I do not mess around when it comes to hurricanes. Even though Steve and I don't talk about them as much as others do during the show, there is no one more prepared that you'll know. And this is not one. I saw a map a couple days ago on the Weather Channel where they showed the increase in population in the last 10 years in Florida by county. And even Okeechobee County, which I lived in for a time when I was a kid, I've got family there, has had a 40% increase in population in the last decade. Okeechobee County. And every county in Florida has had an increase in population. And we've had a massive increase in the last year. And a lot of people that are new here to Florida, new homeowners or renters, may not even have hurricane shutters. And this hurricane yesterday, when they did the announcements, when it was finally decided the primary area it's going to hit is that Sarasota, Fort Myers area on the West Coast, and I heard them say, leave that area, leave those counties, and come to Palm Beach County. Now, to my recollection, I have never heard that happen before. I've heard of the Keys getting evacuated. The Keys get evacuated during hurricanes quite regularly over the years. But I've never heard them say, if you're in a county, drive across the state to Palm Beach County. I've never heard that before. And those of you that are watching from around the country that may not be familiar with South Florida, you may have heard Governor DeSantis in his press conference talk about opening up some lanes heading east on Alligator Alley. There's a road, it's I-75. It's called Alligator Alley, and I know it's a funny name if you're not from Florida. There are alligators all around it, but the road's safe. And it's the road that takes you from the East Coast to the West Coast of Florida. And, of course, if you live down here, you've been on that road many times. But those of you that are new to Florida, please take whatever precautions you were told. And don't go out today if you don't have to. When I drove in this morning, and you can tell now what you're getting are these bands. The winds will be heavy, the rain will be heavy, and then it stops. And there's no rain and no wind. And then a few minutes later, it picks back up again. So if you don't have to be out, don't be out. But do stay tuned to our station, please, throughout the day and the night, because Dean is going to be here, and he's spot on and knows what's going on. And we have reports at the top and bottom of every hour, and that Category 5, that's really upsetting for me. It really is. I just pray for people because it's bad. And I have friends on the west coast of Florida who have left. And some of them have come here to the Fort Lauderdale area, the Boca area, and some of them have left the state. And I've been through it. I was talking in the last hour, though. The state of Florida has the most incredible system before, during, and after a hurricane. So pay careful attention to what Governor DeSantis has to say, because it's not just politics. And I did notice Biden finally got on the phone with DeSantis, and this really burned me, and it really shows you the sad state of affairs. You know, Ron DeSantis obviously is MAGA. He's going to be our second MAGA president if all goes well in 2028, and he's just the greatest governor ever. I'm wearing, like I said, I'm wearing a Ron DeSantis shirt. This is a shirt. It's Top Gov. It says on it, you know, and it's got Ron DeSantis's picture on it. And I'm wearing it today because he's leading us through this hurricane. But it took the embarrassment that he had not spoken to Ron DeSantis for Biden to get on the phone to him. And you know, this is the problem with Democrats. There are certain things that are beyond politics. Natural disasters is one of them, which Florida is about to face. And Joe Biden didn't want to get on the phone to Ron DeSantis as now a Category 5 hurricane is coming towards Florida because he views Ron DeSantis as MAGA, and this is a Republican state. This is a Republican state. But you know what? And I'm Republican, but not everybody in Florida is. There's a lot of Democrats here. I'm in Boca right now. This is a Democrat town and a Democrat county I'm in right now. The county south of me, Broward, is a Democrat. But all they think about at the White House under Biden is politics. They don't care about Florida. They've written it off because they can't win Florida because it's a MAGA Republican state. And those of you that are Democrats, and I really mean this, how do you feel that Biden wouldn't talk to DeSantis yesterday during all this? Finally he did, because he was embarrassed into it. That means he's written you off. He doesn't care about you. Think about that. Pretty disgusting, isn't it? All right, now listen. We're going to take our first break of the hour. When we come back, I'm going to touch into some other issues. But you're welcome to call in. And I'm going to keep a kind of open phones light today. Open phones are typically on Friday, but we'll kind of keep it open phones today because, there's a hurricane coming to Florida. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Back after this.
Smell the truth.
Great.
PCR testing is available at any lab test now of Coral Springs on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Open Monday through Saturday. No appointment necessary.
Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. You know, Steve and I are going to have lunch over at Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company in Pompano on the corner of Copans and US 1 Federal Highway Sunday at noon. And after lunch, I'm going to take my daughter's car over to Spin Car Wash and get it washed. My daughter's car is filthy. You know, the weekend, I know the weather's not so great now, but when the hurricane's gone, we are going to have beautiful weather all weekend, and the sun is going to be out. The hurricane takes all that bad weather with us, and you'll be surprised how beautiful and sunny it is after the hurricane. It always is. It's a great time to get your car washed over at Spin Car Wash. You know, they have 6 locations, 3 in Broward, 3 in Dade, and you can find them online if you want to find those locations, spincarwash.com. All of the 6 locations are listed there, and they have special promos all the time running there for you, the loyal listeners of this radio show. Monday through Wednesday, it's 50% off all their single washes, and Thursday through the weekend on Sunday, 50% off all their top-tier washes. And what I'm going to do with my daughter, I'm going to sign her up for the affordable, very affordable, by the way, just $39.99 monthly membership. So you can go and get the car washed any time you want, all month long. No hassle, no trouble. Just boom, go on in, get your car washed, and listen to what they do. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is what's included in your car wash over there with the monthly membership at Spin Car Wash. Listen to this. They start with lava foam and a foam bath of your vehicle. They shine your tires. They give you the clear coat, the underbody wash, the crystal clear windshield wash. They wash your car with triple foam. They pre-soak it in a bath. They wax the car. Of course, they have the wheel bright so your wheels look sparkling. They use scented soap. They scrub the wheels, and then they dry it with the blower so it's completely dry when you're done. And by the way, their vacuums over there, which are high power, are free. You hear that? Free vacuums, and they're very powerful, very strong vacuums. It's amazing. I'm going to sign my daughter up for that monthly membership so she can keep her car looking beautiful. And I'll tell you, you know, your car, it's, hey, next to your house, it's probably the biggest investment you got, right? You want to keep it looking beautiful, and you can do that with Spin Car Wash. Again, they have 3 locations in Broward, 3 in Dade. You can find them online at spincarwash.com. They're open every day from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. All right, guys. So here we are live on this hurricane day, and, you know, I was talking to a caller in the last hour. We were talking about Ukraine and Russia. And, you know, this is, it's so interesting how things change, right? How things change. Typically, it's the liberals that are anti-war and conservatives are hawks. And what's happened, you know, President Trump has always been anti-war. Even during the Vietnam War, President Trump has always been an anti-war guy. Always. Always. Now, we've had a lot of corrupt people like Dick Cheney and George W. Bush who were war hawks and got all kinds of strange reasons behind their support of this war or that war. But no, conservatives are an anti-war group of people. And the war on terror went on way too long. You know, I told a caller, we had soldiers in combat that were born after 9/11. That's crazy. So we end that war and boom, we're in another one. Now listen to this. This is a story that is sick, it's sad, twisted, and it's also a national disgrace, in my opinion. Let's hear what you think about it, by the way. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Listen to this. Congress agreed to a deal providing another $12 billion in aid to the Ukraine, which would bring the total military and economic resources provided to Ukraine to $66 billion with a B dollars. Think about that as you struggle to find enough money to fill up your gas tank. Along with the Senate passing a $40 billion aid package in May, with another $14 billion package to Ukraine in March. Biden, earlier in the month, asked Congress for another $11.7 billion for Ukraine. Now, this is the part that is sick, sad, twisted, and an embarrassment to this nation. About a week ago, because of inflation, it was reported that the United States Army told active duty soldiers, now keep in mind, active duty soldiers, many of them are combat veterans many times over because they were doing multiple tours. You know, in Vietnam, you did, 13 months and you were rotated out. You could stay, you could go back if you volunteer, but they could only make you go once. How many rotations have active duty soldiers done in Iraq and Afghanistan? Many of them, unless they've come in since those conflicts ended. Right? But it was reported about a week or two ago that the United States Army told active duty soldiers if they were unable to afford food because of inflation, to apply for food stamps. Now, I'm not opposed to food stamps, FDL. I'm not opposed to any of that. But I'll tell you this, I'm opposed to U.S. soldiers having to use them, especially because of inflation. It's one thing if, hey, listen, you make what you make and you try to live within your means, and maybe you blow money on something you can't afford. Maybe you buy a car that's out of your budget. Maybe you buy a house that's out of your budget and you're struggling. But that's not the case with these soldiers. They very specifically, the Department of the Army told them, right out of the Pentagon, that inflation, due to inflation, if you're having difficulty, apply for food stamps. Now, there's nothing wrong with someone using, I don't want people to misunderstand what I'm saying. When people are in need, there is nothing wrong with someone using food stamp assistance. It's a debit card. I remember in the day when it was when I was in high school, I worked at Publix, and when it would get busy, I was a stock boy at Publix, and when it would get busy, they'd throw me on a register to run the cash register. And back then, food stamps were actually, they looked like Canadian money. They looked like a bill, like a certificate, and they were different colors. Remember that? And people all the time, they would come through with food stamps, and it was embarrassing because everybody knew because it looked like Canadian money. And now it's a debit card, and it takes the shame out of it, and that's a good thing. So I'm not opposed to any type of assistance to people that are in need. But I am opposed to the Army telling active duty soldiers, because of inflation, not their own financial irresponsibilities, because of inflation caused by Biden, that they should apply for food stamps, active duty soldiers, and send their wives into the grocery store with food stamps. I'm opposed to that. They should open up the stores, the grocery stores at the bases, and give them food, is what they should do, for free. There's just some things that shouldn't be, and that's one of them. And I'll tell you, we talk so much about fake news media. If this happened with any Republican in the White House, from Reagan to GW, even HW, whoever it was, the media would be all over. And Trump, of course, without saying, the media would be all over it. But I have to read about this only in conservative online publications because they really, truly are not what they say they are. Media. I heard an interview many years ago with a guy. He was the ABC bureau chief in Moscow, and he was there during the fall of the Berlin Wall and stayed in Moscow for years after the Soviet Union fell. And he talked about the reporters at Pravda. They didn't know how to do it because they just got stories sent to them by the Communist Party. They didn't know how to be reporters. Well, it seems like that's what's going on with the media in this country. They don't know how to be reporters. They're not in the news business. They're in the covering up of news business. And food stamps, the Army telling soldiers to go on food stamps because of Biden's inflation, that should be a lead story everywhere. But it's not. They're going to cover that story up because they're advocates. They're state-controlled media. All right, listen, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name's Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after our bottom of the hour break.
Bringing the heat to your radio every morning. It's the Steve Kane Show on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. From the Tweery's Rare Coins and Jewelry Weather Center. Tweery's, the most trusted dealer in rare coins, fine jewelry, precious metals, and more since 1982. Here's the Oldies weather forecast.
I'll be right back, guys. Hey, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Be right back.
Aiming on the southwest Florida coast, winds now sustained 140 miles per hour, pressure down to 942 miles per hour. System expected to make landfall later on in the mid-morning hours into the afternoon. And then traveling across the state, we're looking at the chance for still isolated tornadoes in our forecast. Look for winds gusting into the 30s, strong gusts into the 45 to even 60 mile per hour range. And then we are going to see better conditions as we head towards the end of the work week. From the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silverang.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In West Palm, I-95 heading southbound just beyond Forest Hill Boulevard. A multi-vehicle crash is now blocking 2 left lanes. I-95 heading southbound approaching Indian Town Road. A disabled vehicle is blocking your right shoulder. A crash is blocking the left shoulder in Del Rey on 95 heading southbound just before Atlantic Avenue. Also, another multi-vehicle incident on 95 heading northbound before Linton Boulevard has the right shoulder blocked. As for the surface streets, we're seeing some flooding in areas and lots of rainfall right now, so please be sure to use caution on the roads. And we're seeing some more volume begin to build on 95 north and southbound between Deerfield Beach and Boca Raton. This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment.
Man. It's going to be a Category 5 when it makes landfall. Yeah, fine. It's fine.
Just kind of do a breaking. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, we'll be 30. We come back at 33.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The family atmosphere. You can tell they love what they do. Kevin, who is 4th generation, he said that he takes calls from customers at 8 at night. They're at 3971 South Jog Road on the northwest corner of Lake Worth and Jog Road in Green Acres Plaza. Tweery's Rare Coins and Jewelry. Tell him Dean Muccio sent you.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs or Any Lab Test Now of Boca. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Railwood by the Coral Square Mall. Call 954.
Turn your mic up just a touch.
Did you happen to hear their forecast?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't think
like
Mike
an.
got to update it yet.
Yeah.
We did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can
Yeah. I told Steve, I said, I don't expect one call today. Because, you know, I'll be prepared. Yeah. No, it's the way it is. It's okay. The show goes on. That's a bad one, though. I'm trying to remember if Andrew was a 5 when it hit. Was it a 5 when it hit? Yeah. I don't know why all the break times are off today. I don't know why. Maybe the reports are running long. They're doing. All right, and we are back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, and I want to tell you guys, stay tuned into all of our radio stations all day and all night. Dean Muccio is here, our afternoon guy, and he's keeping you up to date on all the hurricane news. What do you have for us, Dean?
Yeah, breaking not too long ago. This is an update from the Hurricane Center. Ian now is a 5 hurricane at 155 miles per hour. About 60 miles southwest of Fort Myers, and from all indications from our TV partners at WPBF 25, landfall will be maybe around 2 o'clock this afternoon. So this is a devastating hurricane. This is, we talked about Andrew a little bit ago, Brian, and Andrew was a smaller, really packed.
That's
storm.
right.
This is a big storm, very wide, and we have the possibility of more tornadoes as it makes landfall.
That's great. Well, keep us updated on everything that's going on, Dean. Thanks so much.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, when you talk about Andrew, you know, Andrew and this hurricane, it not only is large, covering, I don't know, more than half the state of Florida, and they keep talking about it being slow moving. And, you know, listen, just take it serious. I can't say this enough. I know people that are longtime Floridians are like, we get it, Brian. We have so many new people here, they don't understand. Okay, I was watching last night. I was really upset about this. I was watching a live stream at the southernmost point in Key West. Did any of you see this? I was watching this last night, and I was so upset about this. You know, the southernmost point where you go down and you take your photograph with the big monument? We've all been there, and it's really cool. Southernmost point of the continental United States. It says 90 miles to Cuba, and it's down the street from Hemingway's house. Now, you hear everyone talk about storm surge killing people. That is so true. That's why you have evacuation zones right on the beach. We're out, you know, we're beyond what typically would be an evacuation zone if we were evacuating here. But not by far. I saw people all afternoon and all night right at the southernmost point with the storm surge coming over. I mean, some big waves and storm surge coming over the entire southernmost point marker. And some of them are there with babies and other young children. And I was watching this live stream last night, and it was like watching the Jim Jones Kool-Aid drinkers on a live stream. I couldn't believe it. And the police didn't even come and run them off. It was, and I was thinking to myself, well, they got to be tourists. Those cannot be Floridians. Because if that storm surge takes you, you're done, and no one can save you. If they try, they're going to go with you. And there's too many people here that are not taking things serious. enough. And when I watched this last night I was watching it with my wife. And I couldn't believe, and we found it by accident. We wanted to see what was going on in Key West, so we went and watched some live streams from Key West. And this one, there was a line of cars of people just in line waiting to do this, and the storm surge was covering them, and it was awful. It was just awful. But you know what? I'm hoping at this point, because this is the day that people get a little more serious today than they were last night. Boy, do you remember that activist Rachel Dolezal? Remember her? Dolezal? Do you remember her? She was the woman that was the head of the Spokane chapter of the NAACP, who we found out was white. She was passing as black. She was kind of doing a C. Thomas Howell Soul Man thing. Do you remember that? This is a real sad story. You remember her? Oh, yeah. She's had a very tragic life. She was passing as black for years, and she was heading up the Spokane NAACP for quite some time. And she was a very vocal activist who even went on television often. And I guess someone who knew her went online and said, wait a minute, she's white. And that was about 6-7 years ago. And a couple years ago, I was talking about food stamp assistance for soldiers. A couple years ago, she was in the news, and she couldn't find any work anywhere. Her family wasn't helping her out. She was on the verge of homelessness and living on food stamps. And she's been found again. And I mean, this is, you guys remember her, I'm sure. She's been found again, and she has an OnlyFans page now, with doing what girls do on OnlyFans. And if you're not familiar with OnlyFans, I hate to even talk about it, because there are probably a lot of people that don't know about it that are going to find out about it because I'm going to talk about it right now. But let me tell you something. This country has over the years had terrible things go on morality-wise that have caused so many problems. And there's things going on in our society now. President Trump did some things that were absolutely amazing when it came to women. He shut down the online platforms that were advertising prostitution in the United States and worldwide. Remember Backpage? There was a Justice Department raid on Backpage. Backpage was an online classifieds for prostitutes. And a lot of sex traffickers were using it. It was unregulated. And sex traffickers and sex slaveholders were advertising even underage children on there for prostitution. It was awful. And President Trump shut it down. And he never got any credit for this. And that was a global platform. And he shut it down. And he stopped so many women and men and boys and girls from being exploited through prostitution because they lost the platform to advertise it. It was amazing. He never got credit for it. He should have gotten an award from the National Organization for Women for doing that. It's one of his many great accomplishments, President Trump, but one that no one gives him credit for or talks about, and I thought it was amazing. That's what he used the Justice Department for, not going after political enemies. But one of the most disgusting things on the internet right now is OnlyFans. It's an online platform. It's where girls and women are all now pornographers, right? They're all in the adult film business. And they do it from their home. And, one of the reasons when you go around places at the mall or a fast food restaurant and they're having such a difficult time finding workers is because young people find other ways to make a living without leaving their house. Right? And one of them is OnlyFans. It's worse than TikTok. Everyone talks about TikTok. TikTok's bad and it's got a lot of problems, and what goes on TikTok, oh my goodness. But what's going on OnlyFans is the worst. And this is, we've got a lot of activists now that have won. We've got so many Christian activists. Mission accomplished on the abortion front. We overturned Roe v. Wade. Now, it's still legal, up to 10 weeks in Florida, and there's places where it's legal beyond that, and I understand there's still a lot of work to do. But we really could use the help of Christian activists to start advocating against OnlyFans. And this girl, this white girl who was passing as black and heading up that NAACP chapter, this is all over social media, and people are laughing at her and making fun of her. This is desperation. And what this platform has done is turned women into prostitutes. There's a YouTube couple that my wife and I used to watch. They got divorced recently. And the wife, now the ex-wife, she's on OnlyFans, prostituting herself out. I mean, it's awful what's going on in this country. And I'm not one of these high holy Bible thumpers that's, but this is ridiculous. And I know a lot of conservatives are laughing at Rachel Dolans over this. Not me. It's pretty tragic. This is a desperate person in a desperate situation. I'd like to see Christian advocates start advocating to shut down OnlyFans with at least a quarter of the passion that they have against TikTok. All right, listen, we're going to take our break. We'll come back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. 888-GO-KANE1 is our number. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this break.
They're the most polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Mornings 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings
What's up?
Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them.
PDF said it's category 5. The correction is 2 miles an hour. It's knocking on the door of category 5, but I mean...
Oh, no. I wouldn't correct it. No, I wouldn't correct it. No.
It's not a big deal.
No, 2 miles an hour. No, you round up.
It's going to get up to category 5.
No. You round up because you got to prepare for a Cat 5 at that. No, I wouldn't correct. I mean, that's my opinion. I leave it up to you.
I'm saying, if somebody called you, they're saying it's category...
No, you round up on that.
I just want to let you know.
Okay, yeah.
So if somebody calls...
Yeah.
Located at 7600 North Federal Highway in Boca, or check us out on IG at Denise Hair Salon and call 561-826-8704.
That's Denise with the Z.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West El Rey and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. You'll feel younger, you'll have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely stops and reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Mood swings, gone. Night sweats, gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet them, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet them again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez when you tell them you heard about him on the radio. 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893.
Eagle Eye Protection Services for all your firearm and security patrol service needs. Receive personal firearms training by instructor and owner Mike Bronner. Concealed weapon permit classes and G license security classes offered weekly. Call Mike Bronner today for all your firearm and security patrol service needs. Protect yourself and protect your business. Call 561-723-6191. That's 561-723-6191. Eagle Eye, your local security protection services.
Anne-Marie's Pizza and Wine Company. Family owned, family operated. Where Grandma Carrie Ann herself is in the kitchen. Amazing pizza, sizzling Philly cheesesteaks, salads, pasta, subs, and much more. Live music, patio seating, and 2-for-1 on all beer and wine for Ladies' Night every Wednesday. Mention Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 and receive a 15% discount. Come visit us today at Anne-Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, your local family-owned Italian restaurant located on the corner of Copens Road and Federal Highway. That's Copens Road and Federal Highway. Anne-Marie's. We'll see you here.
Smarter than 95,000
Yes. We are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. That's right, on the radio since 1977. And we are here live on this Hurricane Ian day. And make sure you stay tuned to our radio station all day, all night. Dean Muccio for the afternoons is here, and he is monitoring and will update, not just during this program, but throughout the entire day and evening on the latest on Hurricane Ian. Okay? So stay tuned all day, all night. I saw a story this morning before I came in on the FBI raid against Mike Lindell. Oh my goodness. And what they did, you ever see these stories online where they show you a graphic? They did a cartoon animated reenactment of the raid on Mike Lindell, and it was terrifying. I did not realize this. I thought they nabbed him coming out of the parking lot onto the street from the Hardys. That's not what they did. When he pulled away from the drive-through window in the left side of Mike Lindell's car, he was a passenger, his friend was driving, when the left side was still up against the Hardee's restaurant building, that's when the feds came in. First, one came in front of him. And Mike Lindell then said to his friend that was driving, he says, that's either a bad guy or the FBI. Well, you can be both. Then the car came on the passenger side and blocked Mike Lindell's door, and then a third car came up behind him, and they used on the building to help block him in. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? This is not El Chapo, Mike Lindell. This is not Walter White. That's Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad, if you don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Listen, go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, and buy something. I have pretty much every MyPillow product. You can save up to 66% on MyPillow products. If you follow me on Twitter, this morning my cat Sagwa was sound asleep on her MyPillow pet bed under my desk at home. I took a picture and put it up on Twitter. The MyPillow pet bed is 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout right now. Kane at MyPillow.com. And there's many other specials there. Some of the top products are on sale right now at MyPillow.com, including the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which will change your life. I've been sleeping on my 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for a year and a half. I sleep the whole night through. When my alarm wakes me up, or my dog, to go to the bathroom, that's when I get up. It will totally change your life. You will get well-rested sleep like you've never experienced when you're sleeping on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It's absolutely amazing. And that is 50% off, the lowest price ever, with our promo code Kane at checkout. But again, take advantage of all those specials there. Save up to 66% off with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, toll-free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. This is, listen to this. This is in the Daily Caller. The Biden administration is working to end hunger and diet-related diseases by hiring more minority nutritionists, according to a White House plan released on Monday. The Biden administration says that hiring more non-white registered dietitian nutritionists will help minorities communities that experience higher rates of food insecurity, obesity, and type 2 diabetes, according to a White House National Strategy on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health. The Health Resources and Service Administration will begin collaborating with minority-serving institutions and historically black colleges and universities to recruit and train a diverse crop of nutrition experts. A more diverse healthcare workforce would better serve communities of color. Okay. Do you know the same thing that makes white people fat makes black people fat? Did you know that? It's true. Do you know that the same thing that makes Asians fat makes Hispanics fat? Are you kidding me? What the Democrats are doing here is what they're doing on every place they have their tentacles. Everything they do is about division. See, when America's united, Democrats don't like that, because you unite against them and say, wait a minute, these Democrats, this is not the way to be. So what they do is they cause divisions where there shouldn't be any. Obesity, nutrition is not a racial divide issue. What they're doing here is, well, you know, Rush used to talk about it. Remember, Rush used to talk about the Democrats have that same old playbook. It's worn out, right? The cover's worn away, but it works, so they keep using it. Racial division is the first thing in the Democrat playbook. Racial division. That's a oldie but a goodie, and it works all the time. And they are convincing people. I've seen this talked about on shows like The View. They think there is a racial prejudice against people that cause one group of people to deal with diabetes and obesity where another group doesn't. Let me tell you, there's a lot of fat white people. And if I ate what I like to eat all the time, chocolate and ice cream, hey, I'd be fat too. Okay? You know, there's obesity in all kinds of different groups, obviously, but lower income people, white, black, whatever, don't eat as well as people that have a higher income and maybe are at the Whole Foods market or something, but it's not racial. But they're causing racial division over an issue where there shouldn't be. Why? For political reasons, because they know that they have lost a huge chunk of the African American vote, a demographic they used to take for granted. And, you know, the reason that they've lost black voters, they don't even know why. They don't even know why. And I'll tell you why. And it's pretty obvious, actually. When I tell you, you'll say it makes sense. You know, I talked about this involving Walt Disney World. You know, Walt Disney World is a very expensive place to go. And I've noticed for the last few years, you see a lot more tourists at Walt Disney World who are African American. You see a lot of black families. It never used to be that way. When I was a kid growing up in the 70s and the 80s, there were not that many African Americans, there were not that many black people at Disney World. We weren't very far out of the civil rights era. But today, you know, what's happened in the last 15 or 20 years is that we have finally, on a mass scale, achieved equity in every aspect of our society, including equality economically. The reason there are more black people that go on vacation to Walt Disney World, the most expensive place to visit, you can go to Europe for less, is because we have economic equality now. And the Democrats have lost black voters because when people start making money, they don't want to pay taxes for a bunch of freeloaders. And the Democrats aren't aware of what I'm telling you. Even if I told them this, it wouldn't make sense to them, because it wouldn't compute with them. Because, you know, Joe Biden's a racist and he looks down at minorities. But that is true. They've lost black voters to the Republican Party, and Trump too is a great inspiration, but it's mostly because people don't want to pay taxes when they're working hard to a bunch of freeloaders or to the Ukraine right now. That's why. But the Democrats are going back to that old playbook, and they cause racial division after racial division all over the place. You know, there was a caller about an hour ago before the top of the hour break, in the last hour, that he was talking about this Wawa thing and black crime. You know, the reason that happens is not why he thinks. Okay, I saw an interview with Beetlejuice up in Chicago yesterday, and a reporter was, you know, she's running for re-election, and a reporter was going through all the crime in Chicago. He said, how can you run for re-election when, and he went through all the crime stats in Chicago when this is going on. The Democrats like crime in minority neighborhoods. See, the big secret is this that the Democrats don't talk about. They don't want black people to lift themselves out of the poverty of Chicago or these areas in Philadelphia where these things are happening. Don't you get it? Because once they're out of poverty, they vote Republican. The reason these things are allowed to happen by Democrats, even black Democrats like Mayor Beetlejuice and others, is because it keeps them on the Democrat plantation. That's the reality of it. The dumbest things I've ever heard. But you know, a lot of people will eat that up. People don't like to take responsibility for anything. They're always looking to blame others. And And if you're overweight, it's not because you drink 5, Cokes a day. It's because you're a victim of that. Because the Democrats right now are over obesity. The Democrats are burning, tingling in your hands and feet, muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, this feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet, which is torture. Some people have no feeling at all. The symptoms are really unbearable. And Steve, his neuropathy symptoms were terrible. He was practically bedridden. And we were very concerned because the cruise is coming up. And he went to his doctor, a neurologist, told him, and he said, neuropathy, nothing you can do. Learn to live with it. Wow. So Steve and I, this is true. We sought out help, and we found it at Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano. They have a neuropathy treatment that works. I know it works because I've seen it work in Steve, and I've talked to many of our listeners who have gone there, and it worked for them. Lighthouse Medical Center is a medical practice that's been in practice with the same family for 75 years in Broward County. That's amazing. In Pompano. Now, it's a completely free consultation if you mention you heard about them on the radio. So make sure you mention that when you call them. Here's their number. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. Online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right? And say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms like Steve Kane did. Okay, we're going to take our break for the top of the hour. One more hour to go on this Hurricane Day. We are here live. My name is Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. From the Tweery's Rare Coins and Jewelry Weather Center. Tweery's, the most trusted dealer in rare coins, fine jewelry, precious metals, and more since 1982. Here's the Oldies weather forecast.
Here's the latest on Hurricane P, and as of 7 a.m., we have a very strong Category 4 hurricane, winds at 155 miles per hour. Category 5 hurricane has winds at 157 miles per hour. Pressure down to 937 millibars. Landfall expected sometime in the early afternoon along southwest Florida's coast. As for us here on the East Coast, still expect to see on and off heavy showers. Showers as well to become isolated tornadoes. Tornado watch up until 5 p.m. Next update coming in within the next hour. From the WTBS 25 First Morning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silver.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community, have a laugh with some funny memes, and keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are crash-free at this time, but we're still moving a little slow on 195 north and southbound between Deerfield Beach and Boca Raton. We also got some light traffic on Lantana Road westbound towards 441. We do have a multi-vehicle crash on the Phelan Highway at PGA Boulevard. I-95 northbound at PGA Boulevard. An accident is still blocking the left shoulder. Broward County, we have a multi-vehicle crash at San Road at Riverside Drive. We also have another incident on 595 heading westbound just before 136th Avenue. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle: air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News now, Lionel Boys. It could make landfall as a Category 4 hurricane. The entire state of Florida bracing for Ian. Overnight, sustained tropical storm force winds
Call in 888-GO-CANE-1. Hello. You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with
Yes. Welcome back, everyone. It's the 8 o'clock hour. We are here live. It is Wednesday, Hurricane Ian Day. And listen, stay tuned to whatever one of our radio stations you're listening to all day, all night. Muccio is here, the afternoon host, and he is covering everything. And our radio stations will be covering everything and all the updates involving the hurricane all day, all night. So stay tuned here. You know what I did? I went and got some D batteries for my radio at home. Now I got those. I got those yesterday. That's right. You got to be prepared. Oh man, this is a rough one. I got to tell you, really pray for those on the west coast of Florida and in Orlando. Oh man, I have a lot of friends on the west coast and in Orlando, and I've been talking to some of them, and keep them in your prayers because they're going to need it. This is a bad one. It's a bad one. And you want to take it serious. I was talking in the first hour. The governor before Ron DeSantis was Rick Scott, who's one of our senators, and he prepared Florida for hurricanes in the aftermath of them like I've never seen. In the past, now this one's a bad one. I mean, we're at hurricane, category 5 here, so we're in, I know it's a couple miles an hour away from 5. I'm calling it a 5. Okay. 2-3 miles an hour, I don't care. You got to round up on that. But I'll tell you, when a hurricane hits, if you do what you're told, you're prepared, you're in an evacuation zone, you get out, you have your shutters up and everything, you get through the hurricane. The aftermath is when it gets tough. We've been without power for a couple of weeks in the past. Not just your Wi-Fi. I'm talking about without electricity. And when you're out of Rick, you got to have Republicans for competency. And Rick Scott, when he was governor, put generators in the gas station. So areas that lose power, the gas station, their pumps, they still work. And let me tell you, that changes everything in the aftermath. And Rick Scott did something that was also, it seems like common sense, but no one did it before him. The reason you lose power, there's several reasons. Cutting the trees down around the power lines. You probably have noticed this. So there aren't as many, they're not all done, there's still trees, and it's a big state. But they've cleared trees from the power lines all over the state of Florida. So there are not as many trees around power lines to knock out the power. Another thing Rick Scott did is started replacing all of the wooden power lines with concrete ones, which they've been doing for many years too. So the aftermath of the hurricanes are not as bad as they used to be in Florida because of Rick Scott. And as great as Ron DeSantis is, and he is, Rick Scott's done a lot for Florida in these instances. Okay, I'm going to go to Steve. Hey, Steve, I thought you were going to leave me. I thought you might be out putting up the shutters. Oh, okay. Oh, I just got a message that, okay. I didn't know. I talked to Steve this morning. I thought you were out putting the hurricane shutters up or something and just left me here alone.
Change in my situation?
What is that?
It was.
I don't know. Oh, you mean like on your street? I don't know.
You were talking about.
Well, it's going to be a little worse than it was going to be because we're approaching Category 5 on the storm. We're like 2 miles an hour away from a Category 5 when it hits.
But is it geographically hit?
No, it has not gone around. It's not gone around the Florida Straits and come to Cooper City directly. You're not going to get a direct hit, but you're going to get a lot of rain and winds and stuff like the rest of us. Oh boy, I tell you. But let me play this clip since we're talking about it. This is Amy Klobuchar. Listen to this. The senator, Democrat.
That's why we've got to win this midterm. We just did something about climate change for the first time in decades. That's why we've got to win this as that hurricane bears down on Florida. We got to win in the midterms. We understand that, but none of that has stopped us from deciding we're going to put our differences aside and get some things done.
Okay, so if you vote Democrat, there will be no more hurricanes. They're going to end hurricanes, and Oh my goodness.
Wondering,
how desperate they really are? Because I don't put anything past.
Well, Steve, they blew up the pipeline over there coming out of Russia. That seems pretty desperate.
Last night on Tucker's.
Yeah. I mean, this pipeline. I talked about this at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, and Tucker Carlson broke this story last night on Fox News. The Nord Stream. I keep wanting to say. I got to say it slow, or I'll say Nordstrom, the store. But the Nord Stream pipeline. There were 2 explosions on it. It's out of commission, and it's the natural gas pipelines out of Russia to Northern Europe. And there is, it's leaking gas. It's an environmental disaster. That pipeline is underwater. So to detonate it, you would have to have an underwater demolitions team. That's like a military op. And Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson didn't directly say that we did it, but he spent about 15 minutes strongly implying that we did it.
There was no subtlety about it. He made it very clear.
Yeah, and he played this clip. This is Joe Biden before Russia went into Ukraine.
Russia invades. That means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
But how will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do that.
Okay. So, Tucker played that last night. Do you think we are behind it, Steve?
It seems apparent. I mean, he played that and he played a couple other things.
Yeah.
He did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to give the devil his due. I mean, I don't give Biden credit for much, but I give him credit for it was the right thing to do.
Blow up the pipeline? Why is it the right thing to do? Because
they got to win this war. Because they've got to get. You don't seem to understand.
Oh my goodness.
Hating the other side, that you don't seem to realize the threat that Putin is. We're on the verge of annihilating him from power, and that is going to change the entire map, and it's going to be a tremendous thing for the good. And you can, in no uncertain terms, give Biden credit for it. He proved it, and it was the right thing to do.
Blowing up the pipeline. The pipeline, okay, the pipeline and from Russia into Northern Europe is, we're approaching winter. That's Northern Europe, where it's like the Arctic temperatures there. That's what they use to heat their homes with. So I don't know if that was the right thing to do or not, but I would say no. But hey, I'm a little surprised to hear you say that.
Pressure on Russia. You are aware of what's going on over there now. Russia is on the verge of falling, and when the day that Putin is taken care of.
A
great day for the
regime change. So if there's regime change in Russia, who takes over from Putin?
Whatever it is.
Well, how do you know that? How do you know?
Because I know what a mass murderer and butcher that Putin is.
Oh, Steve. It could be some.
I'm being too nasty with.
Well, I know the last time I heard the United States talk about regime change, it sounded like a great idea, was Saddam Hussein in Iraq.
Let's not.
And look how that turned out. And look how that turned out. I mean, it was years of war and IEDs and yeah.
You're being silly.
And the time before. And then before. Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Well, there was another time before regime change was pushed in well, listen, I looked at the clock. We'll take a break. We'll come back and no, you're saved by the bell. Oh my goodness. Our number 1-888 go Kane 1.
Let me do the.
No, we don't have time. All right, well, after this. Well, welcome, South Africa. Welcome.
On the line is Ian from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked the script space during COVID during the height of the pandemic, so we got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now. 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Now, the weather's going to be pretty bad today, but you know, when the hurricane is gone, one thing that hurricanes do is they take all the bad weather with them. And by the end of the week and the weekend, it is going to be beautiful. It is going to be sunny, and it's going to be perfect Florida weather. And I'm taking my daughter's car, Steve, over to Spin Car Wash because it needs it. I took my daughter's car to the gas station yesterday to fill it up because of the hurricane, and her car's a mess inside and out. Now, Spin Car Wash has 6 locations, 3 in Broward, 3 in Dade, and if you go to... Yeah, I'll tell people about that. Now, they have 6 locations. You can find them all on their website, spincarwash.com, and I'm going to sign my daughter up for their monthly membership, okay? And with this monthly membership they have, this is spectacular. You can get your car washed as many times over the month that you want. And let me go through what they do, Steve, okay? This is an amazing... Remember, I took my wife's car there on Friday. I told you it looked like the day it was sitting in the showroom. Listen to this. They start with lava foam and a foam bath. They shine your tires. They give your car a clear coat. They give your car an underbody wash, a crystal clear windshield wash. They pre-soak in a bath your vehicle with triple foam. They wax your car. They use Wheel Bright, scented soap. They scrub the wheels, and then they dry it completely with their blowers. And by the way, they have free vacuums that are very powerful, very strong to get all of that stuff out of your car's carpet that you want to get out of there, and it's great. And that monthly membership is just $39.99. I'm going to get that for my daughter. Yeah, that's right. It's a great deal. That's a great deal. Now, they also have specials every day. Monday through Wednesday, 50% off all single washes. And Thursday through the whole weekend through Sunday, 50% off all of their top tier washes. Now again, Spin Car Wash has 6 locations, 3 in Broward, 3 in Dade. You can find them all on their website, spincarwash.com, and they're open every day from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. And I'll be there over the weekend when the sun's out getting my daughter's car washed inside and out. All right, so I hate talking to you about Ukraine and Russia, Steve, because you just caught me off guard. Oh, you know, let me tell you, okay? There are lots of murderers and bad guys running countries, and regime change. When has regime change turned out well recently? I mean, can you think of one? Yeah, recently, in recent times. I mean, we just got out of a 20-year war in Afghanistan. That was a regime change war. And then what did we do? We put the same regime back in charge, the Taliban. You know, no, it's a bad idea. And Russia is a big country. And by the way, Russia is doing very well economically. I watch a lot of YouTubers both in Russia and Ukraine. And, you know, like I saw a bunch of Russian YouTubers last week. Yeah.
People leaving the country and mass exodus, and the Russian people, it appears to me, as I watch television, I'm a novice, of course, but it appears to me there's a revolution going on over there.
No, I don't believe that's true. No, I did see an airplane or two with some people waiting in line to get on board. But no, I don't know if I believe this mass exodus to avoid a draft, or by the way, the increase.
They're all so happy, right?
The Russians, yeah. I mean,
You want to take a couple calls?
I would love to on this hurricane day. Believe me, at 1-888-COCAINE-1. But the question is, do you? Steve, that's the question. Okay, this mass exodus. How many Russians have evacuated to avoid the draft?
I'm seeing crowds and crowds.
Crowds and crowds. It's a big country. I mean, a few hundred. I mean, a few dozen. I don't know, but where are they then? Because I'm not of where. I don't believe that's no. No. This mass exodus over the draft, people leaving the country to avoid being drafted by Putin. You're falling for propaganda.
I'm falling for propaganda?
Yes. Yeah. I believe so. And this other story about people breaking their arms to avoid the draft. I don't buy that either. No. Well, listen, let me give out the number. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-26. This just reminds me of that Hurricane Andrew day so much in so many ways. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631.
This was we had a case of beer until our
Bored up, drank it all, yes. Rick. Yeah, Rick, I remember that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling you from Lauderdale. I have no idea what happened to our representative government. This is ridiculous. Zelensky was a prop from the Newland Obama administration.
Correct.
I don't know what you're smoking. This is sad stuff that we got involved in this, and we should get the hell out.
Well, you know what? You know what's happened is Yeah.
Who are you rooting for? Who is the he?
He said he wants Putin. He wants Russia to win. He said.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Comrade.
His military ain't woke. Okay? These people who are running our government. They're not Christians. Okay? This is horrible, man. You need to get out of this line of thought.
I'm aghast. I've never heard this before.
Yeah, well, it's the truth. Victoria Nuland propped up Zelensky.
Yeah, that by the way, Victoria Nuland is the State Department woman that Tucker played last night. He called her the architect of the Iraq War.
And told the American people about getting us into war with Russia. Give me a break.
Hey, I'm curious. So you obviously hold on. Can you take a breath? Take a breath.
Check your intelligence reports. All right. I don't know.
Excuse me. Do you want to have a conversation, or not? It doesn't appear that way. Can I ask you a question? Why are you? You obviously seem to feel you have a dog in the fight. What is your relationship to this topic?
What does it have to do? What can we keep?
Answer my question.
You can't
answer my question.
You gotta ask me what my dog is in the fight?
Answer my question. What's this to you? Why are you so involved in this?
This is not representative government. I'm an American citizen. That's my dog in the fight.
Oh, you're an American citizen. So why are you foaming at the mouth about Russia? You think Russia's the good guys?
What the hell wrong with Russia? We don't want war.
What are you screaming for? Why are you hysterical? You sound like a girl.
Why do you hate Russia so much?
I don't hate Russia. I think the Russian people are probably pretty nice people. But I think that Putin's a vicious killer, and I'm suspicious of anybody that idolizes him, like you seem to.
Okay, sure. Okay, tell that to okay, we're the ones that were overcome.
Okay.
Well, listen. Hey, listen. We're up against the break, but thanks for the call. I think he's upset and disappointed in you. And he's disappointed in you. No, but I'm shocked by your position too. Well, yeah. No. Listen, we're up against the break. Okay, 1-888-GO-CANE1 is our number. 888-465-2631. Steve loves to punish himself, I guess. We'll be back right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. 465-2631. Steve loves to punish himself, I guess. We'll be back right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. The greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s coming up this morning at 10 a.m. From the Tweery's Rare Coins and Jewelry Weather Center. Tweery's, the most trusted dealer in rare coins, fine jewelry, precious metals, and more since 1982. Here's the Oldies weather forecast.
8 a.m. advisory on Hurricane Ian. The system is going to be a very catastrophic aftermath as it makes impacts on Florida's southwest coast later today. Winds still sustained at 155 miles per hour, keeping it just below a Category 5 pressure, 937 millibars. We are still expecting to see on and off downpours throughout the day today. Winds gusting at tropical storm force, isolated tornadoes, tornado watch up until 5 p.m. For the WPBF 25 First Warning Weather Center, this is meteorologist Brooke Silverang.
Follow Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community. Have a laugh with some funny memes. And keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
Mind if I have a bite to eat, guys? I'm starving.
That's our crash services. Tom, we're taking a little slow on 195 north and south on the Bridge beach and Boca Raton. We also got some more driving on Lantonia west onto 441. We do have a multi-vehicle crash on the Beeline Highway at PGA Boulevard. I-95 northbound at PGA Boulevard. An accident is still blocking the left shoulder. Broward County, we have a multi-vehicle crash at Sample Road at Riverside Drive. We also have another incident on 595 heading westbound just 436th Avenue. This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips. Whatever you need, there's something that fits your vehicle, air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Brian Craig here. I've suffered with massive pain in my knee for years, but not anymore. It's all gone, thanks to Dr. Appleton and his laser away pain system. I'm in studio right now with Dr. Appleton. Dr. Appleton, how'd you do it?
Treating knee pain with laser. Treatment is simple and no side effects. I have robotic lasers that have a wonderful effect on joint pain. These are all FDA approved.
Now, you don't just help with knees. Tell the listeners what other areas you can help them with.
Any joint I can do, shoulder pain, hip pain, sciatica, stenosis, arthritis, tendonitis, bursitis, from the foot all the way up to the neck.
Dr. Appleton is a chiropractic physician, and with the laser away pain system, there's no injections, no surgery, and no drugs. He's open 6 days a week, and same-day appointments are available. Call right now for your free consultation. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Make sure to tell Dr. Appleton you heard about him on the radio.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Florida Luxury Cabinets is your local cabinet showroom right in Boca Raton, specializing in custom cabinets and countertops, providing luxury design and installation, each style embodying a distinct character and a vibe that's unique to your personality and style. Stop to our showroom at Florida Luxury Cabinets for your free consultation. Florida Luxury Cabinets, 2621 North Federal Highway in Boca Raton. Call 561-646-8560. That's 616-468560.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire and Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. It's out there and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $30. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445.
Baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis. No matter what your game is, teammates matter. Same thing goes for COVID-19. Help protect yourself with a booster shot. Now recommended for
I know I don't eat in the mornings, but
schedule an appointment as soon as you are eligible. Following
Dean brought me a breakfast sandwich, and I was looking at the Anne Marie's menu, and I just couldn't handle it anymore.
Hear that music?
That was
It's Christmas
Dunkin'
shopping
Donuts.
season again. And when you're Christmas shopping, there's no better place to go than mypillow.com. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, you will find the lowest prices ever on top MyPillow products. Right now, order your MyPillow My Slippers for $90 off in all sizes and colors for both men and women. The MyPillow that started it all is just $19.98. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is 50% off. The MyPillow pet bed is 50% off too. There's also incredible savings on the 6-piece MyPillow towel set, the 100% Giza cotton dream sheets, the MyPillow bathrobes. Whatever special you see at mypillow.com, you can take advantage of it with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout at mypillow.com. You can also order over the phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
Seniors, Medicare open enrollment is coming. I Will Advisors has all the education you need to make an informed decision about your plan for you and I Will Advisors specializes in every aspect of Medicare and what options are likely to help or hurt you. And that way you can get a plan that fits your lifestyle and needs at an affordable rate. Call Debbie at 954-753-8080. 954-753-8080.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve is here, and Sunday, well, you read my mind. You read my mind.
Great minds think alike. Just listen to this. Lobster mac and cheese that's made with smoked Gouda Gruyere cheese and listen to this, Maine lobster claws. Oh, the claw meat, the tenderest, most succulent part of the whole lobster. And what they do is they bake it to perfection with the homemade Parmesan, top it off with a little Parmesan cheese. I put Parmesan cheese on everything. Anne Marie's, this is a gourmet restaurant. It's down home and gourmet all at once.
Oh yeah. You know, it's family owned and operated, Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, and they take great pride in their food. And I got news for you. You know, these other places around town, it's not homemade. The sauces are homemade too, by the way. At Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company, everything is delicious. They take great pride in all the dishes. And we're going to spend, I don't know how long it's going to take us, Steve, to get through every dish on this menu, but everything sounds so good that's like my goal. No, but Steve and I are going to be at Anne Marie's on Sunday at noon. They open at noon on Sundays. They're closed on Mondays, by the way, but open the other 6 days of the week. And they open on Sundays a little later at noon. Steve and I will be there. If you're welcome, you're all welcome. If you want to come and join us, we'd love to see you. And Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company is located on the corner of Copans and US 1 Federal Highway on the west side of US 1 and the same shopping center as the movie theater. Okay, so it's very easy to find. We'll see you there, hopefully. And if you come, you'll have a great meal. I promise you that. All right, I don't know. Do you want to... I'd get you off the hook on your bizarre position, or do you want to... All right, let me... Well, getting you off the hook would be changing the subject and forget about the last 20 minutes of the show. But this is really shocking. You know, last night I caught Tucker Carlson And Tucker Carlson, he did an entire segment that was just brilliant, and he is very strongly implying that the United States is responsible for this environmental disaster of blowing up that Nord Stream pipeline out of Russia into Northern Europe. And I know that you're a Zelensky fanboy and all that, Steve, but I thought even that would be too far for you, and shocking, you're crediting Biden, if he did it, for blowing up the pipeline. That just is surprising to me.
The devil is too.
It doesn't, Tucker Carlson said last night, and it's true, who's really going to suffer from that is the people in Northern Europe that need to heat their homes during the cold winter with that natural gas that comes from that pipeline. So I don't understand why that's a good thing. Russia, financially, I was telling you earlier, Steve, I watch a lot of YouTubers in Russia and Ukraine, and they give tours of both countries all the time. And
Go Russians.
yes. Yeah. They're throughout the country. They've got it. You can get the iPhone over there. I mean, they got everything. I see them go to the shopping malls.
Country are regular, ordinary people.
Well, YouTubers are not themselves. They may be eccentric, but what they show is true. I see them going to shopping malls, and they've got all the items there. And like an example, there's this virtue signaling going on. McDonald's pulled out of Russia. So I saw a bunch of YouTubers in Moscow go to the McDonald's that closed down. It's a new fast food restaurant. Some French company came in and took over the space. And it was jam-packed with people eating Les Big Macs or whatever they serve. Things are not that bad.
It's a sign of civilization, I guess.
No. I watch a lot of YouTubers in Ukraine. And the one I tell people to really watch is Pavlo from Ukraine. And I watch these YouTubers in Ukraine. Life is normal. They got their fancy coffee shops open and everything else in Ukraine. It's like they walk around with lattes on the streets of Kiev.
Criticize this war in Ukraine?
There's a
bad dream and just
there's a conflict, but it's not at the but it's not at the level that you think, oh, I don't know.
Anyway.
No, I care. I
like you care.
See, this is the thing. Putin's a bad guy, okay? But Putin is working with the United States in this war. The United States wanted Putin to invade more than Putin wanted to invade Ukraine. Look at all this money they're pouring in Ukraine. How much of that are they taking? The Bidens, the Pelosi's, the donors.
Because
it's a slush fund.
You can find crooks in any war, and you can find people that are exploiting every situation like that. That doesn't mean that that the cause of the. I'm sure you could go back to the Civil War and find there were people on the side of.
Yeah, but not the president. But the president wasn't on the wrong side. Lincoln didn't push us into a war for profit like Biden.
You're not going to get me sticking up for Biden.
Well, you are. You said that if Biden blew up the pipeline, you're okay with that.
To think that Vladimir Putin is a butcher is not to be sticking up for Biden.
Well, I don't know what you mean by butcher. Like Saddam Hussein, mass murderer, like Stalin?
Murderer. Like Charles Manson, only 100,000 times worse.
Well, I know some people have died over there, but come on.
Some people have died over there. Oh, my Lord. Okay.
So the way to victory is to have people in Northern Europe not be able to heat their homes. That's okay. I get it. All right. Well, listen, our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think they did it?
Why do I think who did what? Biden blew up the pipeline?
The pipeline, yeah.
Because Biden wants to escalate the conflict as much as possible. They want an all-out war in Europe. No. They want an all-out war where NATO is mobilized. NATO is getting involved. They're very comfortable having a ground war with Russia.
Oh. They've already.
But
They just shit off.
No. What won what? Who won what? Against who? Russia's a massive country, Steve. You know, and there's
another news flash. I learn that's what I love about the Steve Kane Show. I learn something every day coming in here. So you say that Russia is winning this war?
There is a stalemate in the war. What are you seeing?
Seeing is Russia's getting its ass kicked.
By who?
By who? By the Zelensky, the guy that you're so content.
Well, if then why does he need our help?
He's doing it with our help. He couldn't do it without our.
See, this is the problem. Okay, all of these military analysts that you watch on Fox News, the retired lieutenant generals and all these people, they all have jobs that they never disclose. Working for yes, they work for military contractors.
Putin?
Fox, no, just your own common sense. Fox News is an infomercial for the military-industrial complex. Yes, I mean that's the way it is. I think that you're just like the Cold War. Why are we enemies with Russia? I don't understand. Why are we enemies with Russia all of a sudden? We end this 20-year war on terror, and then like a week later we got a new enemy and a new war. It just seems a little too convenient.
It's not a new enemy and a new war. It's the same enemy and the same war.
What Russia? Russia was our ally for a long time.
I'm speechless.
Well, good. Yeah. We defeated the Nazis with Russia, and with Stalin, and he was a lot worse than Putin.
These are good guys now?
No. We defeated the Nazis with the Russians, I said.
Good morning,
Oh. All right, listen, we're going to take our break and check in with William Youngerman with the Gold Report. All right, if you'd like to call in, please do. Oh, boy. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. It's a toll-free call. 1-888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll take our break, check in with William Youngerman, come back with your calls, and there's a few other topics we may touch on in the last segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. We'll take our break, check in with William Youngerman, come back with your calls, and there's a few other topics we may touch on in the last segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and 96.
All right, we are back. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our look at the gold and precious metals markets for the day. William Youngerman, how the metals doing?
Metals looking rather stable, down by these 2-year lows and giving us a great buying opportunity this week. Yesterday we saw gold close up $6.80 after trading in a range from $1,622 all the way up to $1,644 before pulling back to close at $1,629.20, which was up $6.80. Silver closed up 4 cents yesterday at $18.36 the ounce, while platinum was down $2 at $8.47, and palladium was up $37 at $2,009. This morning we've seen gold trade in a range of $1,615 all the way up to $1,640. Right now we're near the high at $1,639.20, which is up $10. Silver's unchanged at $18.36 the ounce, while platinum is down $2 at $8.45, and palladium is up $4 at $2,013.
Oh, okay. Good day to come.
On the silver and
on Hurricane Day.
So take advantage of it. If you haven't been adding to your positions, this is a great time to do it.
You know, Steve and I have a mutual friend, William Youngerman. He was talking about taking all of his money out of the bank and buying gold with it. How much of someone's portfolio should be in the metals?
That's a good question. The average it should be at least 10% in this particular realm or time of environment. Many people are choosing much more than that, and I wouldn't argue with that, depending on your financial stability and your debt ratio. But for the most part, if you can put a larger portion in at these particular times right now, especially going forward into what we see is some serious worldwide anything that straps you of your needs for daily living, you should always have a good cash reserve.
Yeah, and you know, the metals, remember gold in particular, that's what the central banks use. Gold is money, and it has been for 5,000 years, and I have an idea it will be in 5,000 more too. Now listen, William Youngerman, do you have any special hours over the hurricane time here?
Call first is just make sure we're able to get into the offices. As of now, we are scheduled to be open this morning until 5.
Okay. Well, you can give William Youngerman a call, and you know, no matter where you're located, you can do business with William, both buying and selling of the metals over the phone. His number, 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, and if you want to stop in, it's 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, we'll touch base tomorrow. All right, back after this.
Since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back, and you with us, Steve? Okay, want to make sure the hurricane didn't get you. Of course, of course. Yeah, no, of course, please. This is not the first hurricane, man.
Today, to tell us what a good guy...
oh, Steve.
Get it tomorrow.
You know, I'll tell you, if you're on hold, stand by. I just want to say this before we go to the calls. Steve and I obviously love controversy, okay? Even amongst ourselves, we don't care. Steve and I argue on the air all the time. We don't care. But, yeah, we do. We do. Well, you know, but one topic that we really don't talk about too much is Russia and Ukraine. And we disagree on it completely. And I don't know why we don't want to disagree too much on it. I just think it makes you look bad. But that's, you know, I'll leave that up to the court of public opinion and the listening audience. All right, let's go to the phones. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Teresa from Michigan.
Oh, hey, Teresa.
Teresa.
Hi. I want to say Putin is not our enemy. Biden's are.
What have I said that makes you think I like Biden?
Let me give you an example. I want to hear your thoughts on this, Tina. All right, go ahead.
Because if I've said something make you think I'm in love with Joe Biden, I'd like to correct that impression.
Okay, Putin is doing things that nobody knows. This is what I hear from my sources. He went in there to bust down the labs. And I've seen those blogs.
Ooh.
Putin went in.
That's part of the laptop from hell. A lot of their dealings are in Ukraine. Oh, I did. That's a great movie. Great movie.
Media is help.
But Steve, you said that if Biden blew up the pipeline, you're okay with that.
They want third world war. New world order. That's what we're.
Wait one second.
You okay, Steve? You okay? That's okay. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. All right. You see, you got to Steve. Steve's all choked up now. You got to him.
I'm sorry.
No.
In my reality, I see Putin as being on the ropes and on the verge of being knocked off.
Oh my goodness. That's Fox News propaganda.
Out the evil ones, the Khazarian mafia. CNN, MSNBC, or Fox. We don't even watch that. That's why we watch.
Well, let me tell you though, Steve. Slow down for a second. You keep coughing that way, I'm going to think you're Putin's next victim. If you okay, Steve? By the way, Tina, thanks for the call. You know, Steve, this is the thing about it. Obviously, what she's talking about on YouTube, Steve. This is the deal with. Here's the thing with Putin. No one's arguing that Putin is a gentleman. Obviously, he's been in power for how long? I thought they had term limits over there, and he's maintained power beyond that. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Mass murderer to me is like when Saddam Hussein filled up the grave, killed 50,000 people. That's mass murder. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know he's done some assassinations of some enemies over there. See, is that Zelensky calling to tell you you're doing a good job? It's Vladimir, it's Putin, or is it? Let me take some more calls, Steve, before we really go over the edge. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, Joe, speak up.
I agree with Steve. Putin is former KGB. He's evil. And I understand he wasn't messing with us, but he did go into Ukraine. And
so what?
What do you mean, so what? He hated a country.
So what?
Nowadays, you don't allow that. That's It's not acceptable.
Let me ask you. If today, I'm not saying, if today Ukraine was lifted off the globe and didn't exist, would you even notice? Why is Ukraine so important?
Not important. The only importance it has is that it's a free country trying to break away from the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is trying to pull them back in with the excuse that we don't want NATO on the border, that they're Nazis. It's all garbage. BS. It's not.
It's basically a civil war.
A civil war?
Yeah, it's a civil war. Yeah. Ukraine was...
You say Ukraine is... See...
It used to be. It was part of Russia for a long time. It's a civil war. It's like Michigan.
Boy, Russia is not our friend. They're not our allies. They're evil. They're hacking us constantly. They're sending...
Yeah. We send spies too, like Snowden. Yes.
He told me I buy food. Respect China because I buy all my stuff from there.
Not my argument. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying Putin's not a nice guy, but Ukraine, they're not nice guys either. It's none of our business.
Putin's very suspect with that war. It's the only war where you can have a live concert by U2 in the subway. I agree.
Yeah.
With that war.
The war is for show. The war is real, and there's real fighting and sadly loss of life, but it is for the benefit of the military-industrial complex.
Possibly right. To sell more, to get rid of their stock.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what I'm telling you is, why did this happen right after we got out of Afghanistan?
Because Biden's in charge, and all our enemies know now is the time to strike.
Yeah. But do you think Biden's really upset that Ukraine was invaded?
If Trump was, they would have made that move if Trump was president?
No.
Agree on something, fine.
No, it wouldn't have happened. Wouldn't have happened. And if Trump comes back in 2024, which I think he will, it'll be over right quick too.
Well, we have a consensus. Maybe we should quit.
But what I'm telling you is that Putin and Biden have a shared interest in this war. Putin has his reasoning, but Biden and the Democrats are making boatloads of money off this war. All this funding. They're sending endless amounts of billions of dollars to Ukraine. You know they're getting their cut, and their donors are getting their cut. So what I'm telling you is that Biden didn't just allow it to happen, he wanted it to happen. It's a money laundering operation by the Democrats.
Until I see evidence of that, I can't.
Well, if you remember, part of the scandal with Biden was that fake job that Hunter had on that Ukrainian company where they made all those millions of dollars. Okay, too much.
At least one sane person in.
Well, we'll find out. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Steve. This is really simple.
This is who? Simple, okay.
And tear down the wall, but we'll keep NATO away. We've been building up NATO and Russia's border for 10, 15 years. The border, Putin has put a stop to it. It's the bad guys he wiped out. We didn't agree to build NATO up on the border of Russia when they agreed to wipe out communism. So we disagreed. We went back on our agreement, allowed all this bioweapons to be built.
All right.
Invaded.
You know, if you want to see how ridiculous Zelensky is, go on Netflix and watch Zelensky's TV show where he plays the president of Ukraine. No, I don't have that song. I know which one you're talking about. The Zelensky song, I don't have it. I don't have it. But we're at oh, well, he's welcome to call in. We'll take Zelensky's call. I love to talk to Zelensky. I'd love to talk. I think he speaks a little English. I've heard a little bit. He could do okay. Now, before we go, I do want to tell people this. Do everything you're told to do by your local news when it comes to the hurricane, all right? If you're in an evacuation zone, get out. If they tell you don't leave, it's too late, stay in. Those of you that are new to Florida, hurricanes are a serious business. And I also want to tell everyone, stay tuned to our radio station, whichever one of our stations you're listening to, all day and all night, okay? We have a team here that's covering the hurricane, and anything breaking with the hurricane, you will hear here, all right? Even though Steve and I won't be here. I'm leaving. I'm going home before the weather gets bad. We'll be back live tomorrow, but if you tune into our radio stations all day, throughout the day and the night, you will get all of the hurricane updates right here. Dean Muccio, our afternoon guy, has been here since midnight last night. He came in a couple times today and gave us some very important information and updates. And this is serious business. And this is one of the worst hurricanes we've had in Florida. Not just because of the size and intensity. I'm just worried we have so many new people in Florida that have never been through one and don't take things serious enough, like those lunatics I saw in Key West at the southernmost point that I was telling you about earlier. We are all out of time, but we will be back live tomorrow, I promise you. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane has been here. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll be here not just tomorrow, but the day after that. And our station website is oldiesouthflorida.com. You can tune in there, too. See you guys tomorrow morning. For tuning in. And we'll be here not just tomorrow, but the day after that. And our station website is oldiesouthflorida.com. All right, guys. Hey, listen, I got to take off because I want to. The rains have stopped. And while the rains have stopped, I want to get home before they pick up again. But Kathy and I'll probably have a podcast later today, so look out for that, okay? If you're new to my channel, subscribe, and everyone like the video. I'll see you soon.